we are here with something really, really cool. Fig Boot is a kind of an obscure character in the Strawberry Shortcake world, and we have talked about it on the show before.
We have, yes. When we did the interview with Elena and Alex, we talked about Fig Boot because of possibly Fran having more of an involvement in Fig Boot's creation than she traditionally would have maybe had with some of the characters. Because, of course, she illustrated all of them, but she didn't necessarily come up with names or anything like that. But we have some evidence to suggest that maybe her role in Fig Boot was bigger than it sometimes was. This is Fig Boot. He's cute.
He's so sweet.
So this is the first page of a copy of the patent application for Fig Boot. And as you can see here, there's two names on it, Linda Edwards and Fran Kariotakis. Now what's interesting about this is the claim on this particular patent is for the ornamental design for a toy figure. Ornamental meaning what it looks like. So Fran was an artist. So it stands to reason maybe he looks this way because of Fran's imagination. I like to think that was the case.
Now, where did you get this from?
So, fun fact that not a lot of people know, there's a website called Google Patents. And you can search for all sorts of things, but it's not as simple as typing in, the name of something. You have to know search terms. So I would search for things like American Greetings or Kenner Toys. And as I did that, I fine-tuned my ability to find this stuff. This portfolio here is full of Strawberry Shortcake patent applications.
Very cool. Very cool.
Fun fact, the other name on here, Linda Edwards, I haven't been able to find a lot about her yet, but what little I found is she was a character specialist at American Greetings. She worked heavily on the Get Along Gang, which was another line that Fran did art for. So it all kind of comes together.
It does. That's awesome. Now tell us about this game, because I especially love the board. Fig Boot is featured in the center.
He is.
And it is that kind of the 80s game where you roll the dice or do the spinner and then you just move that number of space and you just kind of ho-hum go around the board.
Yes. So even though he's one of the more minor characters, Fig Boot actually had a little bit of merchandise devoted to him. One of them was this game, Strawberry Shortcake Rescues Fig Boot. This all kind of ties together with a special that aired in 1984 called Strawberry Shortcake and the Baby Without a Name. It's a whole misunderstanding caper adventure thing. Yeah. Long story short, Fig Boot ends up becoming the pet of said baby. But the merchandise that came out that year, of course, featured him. And the game, you go around and you rescue Fig Boot.
Okay.
And it features the characters that were prominent in that particular special. Really vibrant character art on this. Interestingly enough, I don't think it says it here, but it's very obviously the work of the same woman who did art for some books that Parker Brothers put out, Strawberry Shortcake storybooks. Her name was, I think it was a woman. I don't know. Could have been a man. The artist's name was Pat Sustendahl.
Okay.
And this is an artist whose work has showed up in other children's books because, of course, nobody worked just for Strawberry Shortcake.
No, definitely. Well, that's cool. And I'm assuming Purple Pie Man is the culprit who...
Of course. The basic premise of the special was that some mysterious footprints have been found. The Purple Pie Man and Sour Grapes want to capture the monster and monetize this. Mm-hmm. It turns out that it's not a footprint. It's the entire body print of a really tiny monster named Fig Boot. So this was the footprint.
Yeah. A butt print.
Exactly.
Fig Boot, come and meet your new friend.
Ah, the monster!
Now I get it. It's not one footprint. It's both feet and his tail. He's really shy. All he wants is someone to love him. I want to keep him.
Nothing doing. He's coming with us.
So, of course, it was all very cute and silly and not at all scary.
No. Oh, that's sweet.
So, speaking of those books, here's one of them now. Fig Boot's Happy Day. Aww. Now, this was featured in a series of books featuring baby versions of Strawberry Shortcake and her friends. This is something that had kind of been there all along, but they really started to lean into in 1984. And there were dolls like this. And evidence, when you dig into what Kenner was planning, leads us to believe that they were really planning to go deeply into this. There's prototypes of baby pets. There's prototypes of additional characters. But the line came to an end,
Yeah.
so that kind of was short-lived. But yeah, here's Figboot in his own little storybook. There he is with baby raspberry tart, getting a little ribbon tied around his neck.
Very cute.
So yeah, like I say, for a character who really was quite minor in the grand scheme of things, he features in stuff.
That's awesome. And you got another little book here too.
I do. Now this is the coloring book that came out that year.
Okay.
And Figboot was featured in there along with the baby who didn't have a name, except in the coloring book she has a name.
Oh.
She's called Lullaberry.
Okay. And do we ever see Lullaberry again?
We do not. There was a doll of her, a larger baby style type doll. And the premise was the child could name the doll whatever they wanted to.
Okay.
And that was kind of worked into the TV special because, of course, the TV special was a 30-minute advertisement for toys. And yeah, we never see her again. So she was never a part of the regular doll line. So she's a popular subject of customizing and that kind of thing. I actually do have a custom Lullaberry doll in my collection. And she finds her way onto Instagram from time to time.
Sweet. Now tell me about this.
Yes, so as I mentioned, Figboot made his debut in an animated special. I've been very fortunate over the years to get my hands on actually a fair bit of the production art from that special. And this is a pencil drawing of Lullaberry and Figboot.
Aww.
So there is actually a scene in the finished animation that features this in full color and everything and moving around. But I just thought it looked so nice like this that it had to be framed.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And I know you do have in your collection quite a few cells.
I do.
From animations. And
I do have a
great.
cell featuring Strawberry, Lullaberry, and Figboot as well. We'll pop it up on the screen so folks can see it.
Okay, awesome. Well, this one's gorgeous. What a sweet little picture.
So a little fun fact about Figboot, because as I mentioned, he is one of the more obscure characters. He was around for 1 year and may or may not have made further appearances had they done things going forward. But Strawberry Shortcake has been an evergreen brand for a very long time. And this year at Toy Fair, they showed Monopoly and Candyland games featuring Strawberry Shortcake characters. Monopoly, everybody has seen what it's like. The game just came out. There's been pictures online. Candyland, all we've seen is the cover so far. But at the event, they had a great big backdrop with all sorts of characters, and Figboot was on that backdrop. So collectors are super hopeful that he's going to be in the Candyland game, and he kind of lends himself to that.
Totally. Oh, well, that's something exciting to look forward
Well,
to.
exactly, and that's what we do as collectors. We look forward to the next big exciting thing.
Awesome. Well, Figboot is a really neat character. I had no idea that he existed, and when you did the interview with Elena and her dad, it was like, this is so cool. I want to know more. So thank you for bringing him in because he's really cute.
Well, and an interesting thing about that, recently Elena and my friend Adam spent some time going through Fran's studio again, seeing what else they could find. This was after we had talked about this. And it's almost as if the universe was sending a message because one of the very first things they found was Fran's line drawing of Figboot.
Oh.
So that is super cool.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, it's always neat to see things from behind the scenes.
It is.
But even just to see the love of a collector for their favorite thing.
Exactly. And stay tuned because you're going to see a lot more character features, you're going to see a lot more Strawberry Shortcake, and you're going to see a lot more 80s toys.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jay, once again for bringing in all your loot.
You're very welcome.